Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Relax, I Got This in our Agent to Agent series. I'm really excited because we are headed to Durham-Chapel Hill, North Carolina with Masha Halpern. Stay tuned.
A real estate transaction is potentially the largest investment we make in our lives. Whether you're buying and selling your personal home or investing in real estate, you need the knowledge to make the right decisions. Get ready. Robin is a Texas realtor and has the experience to give you the information you need to make the right decisions. Welcome to Relax, I Got This with your host, Robin McCoy.
I have known Masha for a couple of years. We're involved in a lot of the same real estate mastermind conversations that we have, and I'm excited to have her on the show today. She has lived in the Durham-Chapel Hill area since 1975 and loves the strong sense of family within the community. She is a Carolina Friends School graduate as well as a UNC-Chapel Hill alum, and she, even though she has family from Duke and NC State, she is a proud true blue Tar Heel. She loves traveling to different countries, exploring the many local natural wonders that the Triangle area offers her, and is active in her local Jewish community synagogues and Durham-Chapel Hill Jewish Federation, all with the underlying premise of learning more about and connecting with the people she meets through these different lenses. She has been in real estate for over 30 years in Chapel Hill and Durham and all those surrounding communities. And I want to welcome my friend, Masha Halpern, to the show. All right, Masha, welcome to the show. I'm so happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you. It's quite a pleasure.
Well, as I said before, Masha has lived in the Durham-Chapel Hill area since 1975. So that's a minute, right?
That's a big minute. Most of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it about the area that keeps you there? I mean, obviously, if it's most of your life, you probably have family and all of that there. But what is it that keeps you there?
I do have a parent. My mom still lives here. We moved down here in 1975, and I went to school here, graduated from the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, and I moved away for a few years, pursuing a different career. And then I came back and in 1992 decided to become a realtor. And one of the things I loved about the area was the diversity of the towns and the cities, the sizes, the flavor of each of the areas, and the very international feel of the community, because we are so close to the Research Triangle parks. We have technology, we have medicine, we have teaching hospitals and universities. And so being able to choose what kind of place I wanted to live in. I chose a college town. My mother still lives in Durham, in the city. She loves that atmosphere near the university. The other university, Duke, and the other one. Chapel Hill does boast being the first public university in the country, so that's a neat fact. And our fire trucks are Carolina blue.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So go Hills. So, I do love the college town feel. And it's very comforting to be able to see sort of a microcosm of the world growing in your community. And that's very much what we have in Chapel Hill. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's got a real good quality of life, good speed for me, not too fast, not too slow. And it's very convenient to so many things. The mountains are 4 hours away. The beach is 3 hours away. So we're always on the outer skirt of the hurricane band.
That's nice.
Except for a few times. So, it's really a place where people are very interested in having a good quality of life. And so it's appealing.
Yeah. Well, you've been a realtor for over 30 years?
31 years.
And so you've seen a lot of things come and go and things change. And yet from the sound of it, it sounds like as much as things change, they tend to stay the same.
Yes. Oh, that's a great quote. I love that one. And it's very true. There's a lot of different kinds of growth in the area, and the different cities and towns deal with it differently. They have different concerns based on their demographics and who they need to serve. And sometimes change is difficult because it can feel abrupt when things start to, you lose trees for buildings sometimes and they go up sometimes instead of out. And we're sort of experiencing a bit of that in our area. That's been a little hard for people who have been in our area and come back several years later and not expecting to see.
And then like, what the heck?
Yeah. So that can be hard. But, I'm always amazed at the number of people that spent time in the Durham-Chapel Hill area. And then for whatever reason down the road, their lives change or their jobs change, and they find themselves coming back to the area. That's one of the things that I really find special, is that I know a lot of families that move back after having lived here and moved away. And you can't say that about a lot of towns.
I was going to say, a lot of times people leave and then that's where they stay. They go there, or they just go someplace else completely different when it becomes time for retirement or whatever. But so you see a lot of people coming home.
Yeah, I have clients right now that moved away 10 plus years ago, actually moved to Austin, and they're moving back. This is where they like to be.
I'd leave Austin too. No offense to people in Austin. Austin's crazy. It's too many people.
There's crazy everywhere.
Let me ask you this. So you've been a real estate agent for 30 plus years. Yeah, I know. I keep thinking I'm going to find a place without it. Not true. So you've been a realtor for over 30 years. That's a long time. Time. So what is it that keeps you, that keeps you in it, that keeps you going through all the changes in the market throughout the years, the ups, the downs, the bangs and the busts and all of that? What is it that keeps you going? Hi, I'm Robin McCoy, a Texas realtor for over 15 years. As the adult child of a senior needing to make a living change, I know firsthand the stress that can be involved in guiding our seniors and their families through the challenging decisions surrounding senior living. From adapting your current home for aging in place to finding the right senior community, I provide comprehensive support tailored to your unique needs. By offering these specialized services, I aim to make the transition to senior living as smooth as possible, providing you and your family with peace of mind and confidence in every decision. For more information, go to robinmccoysenior.com and let me take some of the stress of senior moves away. Relax, I've got this. What is it that keeps you going?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are driven by numbers, and that's not really my game. The thing that I have really appreciated are the people that I've gotten to meet and lives that I've been involved with throughout the years. Many of our families that come to work with me, we stay connected, and we stay connected outside of real estate transactions. And to me, that's what makes it worthwhile, because as you know from your own experience, real estate can sometimes be bumpy. And we do what we can with our plans and our programs and our smart checklists and this thing to fill those gaps and make those things happen less and be less stressful. But it really helps when you have a nice family that you're working with and that you stay in touch afterwards, because whatever it was that brought you together on the house sale or purchase keeps you together in other ways. And forming the relationships has been the thing that's gotten me through the hard times as a professional, because as stressful as it is for everyone else, we may be balancing anywhere from 7 to 15 families at one time in the middle of transactions that need us to be the level-headed person. And it's really helpful to have somebody that you're working with, from my standpoint, that you can partner with. And so we look at it very much like a partnership when we go.
Well, and it is a partnership, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it
is a partnership. They are trusting you to help guide them to make the right decisions. Not that we as realtors can make decisions for them.
Right.
And yet we're counselors, right? We need to, explain what we think in a way that doesn't make the decision for them. And it's I'm not going to live in the house.
Yeah.
However, I'm not moving in, you are. But you told me this, and, you said that you like the festival, whatever the things are about them. And it does, you're in each other's back pocket for this long. And then all of a sudden you're not. and
it's different. It's different afterwards. So you can stay connected, but it is a different relationship afterwards. You become more of a connector and an advisor afterwards. And where, before you are really guiding them professionally, presenting. In my former career, I was a television reporter. I was a broadcast journalist. And so being able to find the story, report the facts in an even-handed way that doesn't sway one way or the other is something that I've been trained to do. And so I just sort of applied that to my real estate career. And, it's not to say that, if you get an offer and it's not what a client had hoped it would be, or you've written an offer for a client and the response from the seller, if you're representing the buyer, isn't what the buyer would have hoped it would be, I still feel like the important thing to do is to present the facts and give them their options and talk about what that would do for them if they did A, B, or C option, and then let them decide what's the best thing, and then just present it. Don't be emotional about it. Just present it to the other agent, because they're cooperating brokerage with you. And their duty is to help their client get through the transaction in the best possible way with the best possible outcome. And here you are meeting together to try and put something together. And so keeping the emotions out of it can be difficult sometimes. You have that moment to have your feelings, and then get to the point and present it in a way that can be presented to the other person, and that where they can make a rational and frankly sane decision in what sometimes feels very emotional. Yeah.
And some of it is very, these, and I say this to a lot of people, this is one of the, for most people, is the biggest financial investment that not everybody, but for most people, that they're going to make. And this is a huge thing. And I think, knowing you outside of this interview and knowing you, at different events, you truly care and want to help them make the right decision for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you have to, because if you're doing it for yourself, it's, first of all, from a business standpoint, it's a transaction, then it's done. They'll view you that way, and they'll move on to the next person who can give them a transaction. And for me, since it's not about the numbers, being in relationship with people is where I'm at. So,
it is what it is.
Yeah. If you like me, you're stuck with me. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, at the beginning, you talked a little bit about the area that you live in. So let's say some people are considering Durham-Chapel Hill area, North Carolina as a whole.
Yeah.
What would you say that would say, you need to come here? This is what is so great. I know you've got universities, you've got technology, you mentioned medical, you've got all these things that draw people in, and they keep them moving around and all of that. So why should somebody choose that area versus maybe another one?
Well, a lot of people are looking for, sometimes people come here and they're looking for less expensive housing. And what I found over the years is that they find it's more of a lateral move than a step down in price. Our values have remained pretty steady and growing since 2011. We've had that shortfall in inventory that long. It was exacerbated when the pandemic hit in 2020. And we're nationally, as you know, we're behind in new construction starts, decades behind, right? So there has been that pent up demand in our area. We have not always been in that crazy multiple offer situation, but a good house, absolutely, we'd get multiple offers any day of the week, any year. And so I think understanding that it's probably a lateral move, they're probably coming for a job, but also quality of life is really good here. And just that fact that you could choose to live in a college town, even if you worked in Raleigh, which is 30 minutes away, so you drive to a city that's 275,000-ish plus more at this point in Raleigh. Chapel Hill is around 53 with the university, including the university. And so it's different size, different feel. You can really take the time to, 30 minutes drive both ways to decompress from work or to work and come back to a town that just sort of feeds your soul in a way. Or if it's Durham, which is more of the 225-ish sort of population, 250 population. That, it's a smaller city than Raleigh, but it offers a lot of the feel in areas that Chapel Hill does, because you do have Duke University in the middle of the city, and they have a long history with tobacco and in our area. And because the Research Triangle Park does research, we have Glaxo, Apple, Nike, Google, all these,
We get all of them.
we
Yeah.
get all of it. And then all the medical hospitals, there are a lot of people moving here now because of our medical teaching hospitals. And so we really get a variety of people in a great range of ages. We have single people, single income, no kids, families, young families, empty nesters, retired people. We're sort of the melting pot in many sense. And so it's, you have an option as a realtor to kind of decide who your clientele are going to be, if you want to. And we span a wide variety of price points. And so, it is really quite wonderful to have such a variety.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like I didn't realize that there was all of, and I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. And I didn't realize there were so many different industries that are right there.
Oh, those are just
a lot of times, a lot of times you have, we're technology with some universities, or we're very medical with some technology, but you have that area is huge with all of it.
Be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Business Women's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
A lot of times you have, we're technology with some universities, or we're very medical with some technology, but you have that area is huge with all of it.
Right. And we're huge in agriculture also, because we have yet another university, NC State in Raleigh, that is really world renowned for its veterinary teaching hospitals. They have agriculture, architecture. They're also a wonderful public university that feeds a whole different segment of the working force. And so it's really
Y'all got a lot of smart people there in North Carolina, is what that sounds like to me.
Well, we do actually. We have the highest per capita of postdoc degrees in the area, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Little North Carolina just hanging out there on the East Coast, got a lot going on.
We do. We do. Yeah.
Tell me, just tell me some things like what you do, right? What do you do in the area for your off real estate, off work, family, fun time?
So it's changed over the years. I am an empty nester now. I have a grown-up child living in another state. And so, when it was a family with a young child, there are great things to do here. There are museums that are very interactive. We have very kid-related museums. We have everything from that to, the Museum of Modern Art kind of stuff going on in Raleigh. And there's wonderful parks and greenways. There's an astounding amount of preserved land in the area that is, not to be developed. We have Duke Forest, which is, thousands of acres of hiking and all that nearby.
That's nice.
And so that really lends for a lot of nice outdoor activity. And we've got a lot of farms in the area that reach out to the community for involvement, goats with yoga and, this sort of thing. Haven't done that. But, and then as you get older, there's lots of art and activities for teenagers and things to do. And being so close to the mountains and the beach, you have a lot of opportunity to get there. And you could literally get up at 7 in the morning and be at the beach before lunch. And the same with the mountains. And so you could take a day trip or a weekend and just go. If you had to get back quickly, you could.
Yeah, we can't do that in Dallas. We are pretty landlocked. We are pretty a long
Drive
way from.
forever.
You can drive for a really long time and still not hit a good beach. You could drive a really long time and still not hit any real mountains. So that's definitely. I mean, I just love that whole Smoky Mountain area. Through Tennessee and the Carolinas and all of that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful over there.
One of the cool things about our area, we're in the Piedmont, which is the middle. And a lot of times people would think, well, that's kind of flat, but it's not. It's really not. We have lots of, mountains and hills. We have topography that sometimes can be challenging to build on. We do have anything from, build on a slab to build on a basement. It just depends where you are and what the land offers you. So, in terms of housing, we do have homes that have basements, although we do have a lot of third floor walk-up levels because of, flatter land. But there's a nice variety of topography here to choose from.
Well, and that's, I think a lot of times people, especially if you're looking, my age, right? You start looking
Our
to
age.
Retirement. I don't want to put
What are you going to do?
I'm not
what are
putting
we going to
anything
do
on
next?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where do I want to be? Do I want to stay where I am, or do I want to go somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like, that area, the Durham-Chapel Hill, even Raleigh, if you really like the larger city, but it's a good spot because it does lend itself to, the older you get, the more you need to be close to doctors.
It's really a lot of families coming here that's a criteria. Yeah. Yeah. Well, timing is important. Timing is important. So, yeah.
I had a friend that was doing that very thing. He's like, I'm looking at college towns, right? Because they have the infrastructure I need. They're going to have they're going to have teaching hospitals. So all the hospitals have, the most up-to-date information because they're teaching it.
Yes.
So I'm not some old school.
They're practicing. They're practicing
it. So, as we wrap up and kind of share just your favorite thing about either being a realtor in Chapel Hill, being Masha in Masha's world, what are some of the?
That's a busy place.
Yeah. What are just the things that that you love?
I love the outdoors in our area. There's so many places that you can just kind of get out and explore depending on your level of activity and interest. It could be the Duke Gardens, which is a very curated area, or it could be something as natural as Duke Forest, which is just wildlife and walking on trails. And I love the variety of that in our area. And I love that our area is so focused on keeping those things and being intentional about it. I think while we do have our bumps and bruises on how things get managed from infrastructure, all of the cities have a real desire to have intention about their growth and their preservation of the areas. And so I think that's one of the things I really enjoy about the area.
Well, and I think that's huge. Yeah. Well, and it is home for you. Yeah.
Yes.
And, I think that's huge too. Yep, there it is. I think it's huge that, there are still places where people are intentional about preserving some of our land and some of our natural resources. And I think, to know that there is a place that is intentional on that. And if somebody is looking for, just a change of lifestyle, a change of environment, whether it's going from a really small town, but they don't want to go to New York City because it's too big, some of those step-in levels that those mid-sized cities really do have a lot to offer.
Oh, it's very true. And that's very representative of our areas too.
So, All right. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time with me
Oh, my
today.
pleasure.
I love it. I've known Masha for a few years now through some, like I said, some
Mastermind groups.
common
Yeah.
mastermind groups,
Yeah.
and I can vouch for her. I'll vouch for her. And after
Ditto.
30 years in the business, she's got to be doing something right, right?
I hope so. That's my intention.
That's her intention.
That's
All
my
right.
intention.
Well, thanks so much for spending some time. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Relax, I Got This, the Agent to Agent series. And we're in Durham-Chapel Hill, North Carolina with Masha. So stay tuned for our next episode and have a great day.
Thanks for joining us for Relax, I Got This with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and our guests and to access your free buyer and seller guides. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Relax, I Got This with Robin McCoy.